Welcome back to another episode of Spiritual Teachers Podcast. With me today is Arthur from Alkaline Herbs and Recipes. Arthur is an alkaline wellness specialist. It's such an honor to have you on, brother.
Thank you very much. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm super stoked for our conversation today. Arthur is so he's got so much knowledge, just a plethora of knowledge about alkaline herbs and recipes and fasting and all kinds of things. So today, some of the topics we may cover are principles of fasting, detoxing the system, who Dr. Sebi was and what did he teach the world, the benefits of an alkaline diet, sound healing and its potential, and CMOS. So, yeah, man, I'm excited that we got a lot of really juicy topics today.
Yeah.
And Arthur and I, we met actually at a physical therapy clinic that I was working at, and the owner was really open to um, other ways of wellness, right? And so I offered to do a sound healing at her facility, and we it was a gong bath with a hand pan, and I might have had one or two other instruments that I don't recall, but those were the main ones. And Arthur came, and I was working with your mother at the time, and so she brought you, and you brought some friends and clients, and we had
Yeah.
a whole powerful evening. So, yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that story, but yeah, it was a really beautiful way to meet you, brother, and
Yeah.
instantly connected.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, this guy, we're gonna be friends for life, you know?
Yep.
So
You already know.
yeah, yeah. So I was excited, man. So um, would you be open to sharing your story, how everything started for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna take you back a few years. So about I used to lift real heavy weights, so you know what comes with that, me heavy diet, you know what I mean? Believe it or not, I used to be like 246 pounds at one time,
Oh
almost.
wow.
Yeah, I used to be real big. You know what I mean? Real.
Gorilla status.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I used to be
Yeah.
real big, but and you're considered healthy. You're always working out, exercising, running, doing your burpees, whatever. All you're lifting your weights and you're eating your eggs and your meat, your protein and everything, right?
Yeah.
Weightlifting. But every time I would go to the doctor, right, she would say I have high blood pressure. I'm like, Doc, I'm fit. What are you talking about? Machine's wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? One time I come in, my blood pressure's 200 over like 90. Like, you may have to stay here. They wouldn't let me leave. I came in to the my doctor for a checkup.
Hmm.
Next thing you know, she wouldn't let me leave. Right? She's like, "Yeah,
Right.
are you okay? You had a stroke or anything?" I'm like, "No, I'm fine. I work out every day. I'm running sweat. I'm in the best shape of my life."
Yeah.
You know? She's looking, "No, you're not." You know what I mean? And
Uh-huh.
that's when I first started learning about high blood pressure and things like that, right? So as of course the time goes on,
Were you
man,
under a lot of stress back then?
you know what? Yeah, you know what? To be known, but when I think about it, yeah, I was.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
I was. Not, you know what I mean? Probably a 200 full back then, but I didn't know because that was the norm. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? That was just
Yeah.
how life was. So it's before the teachings and everything. So absolutely. So after that, course of time, I'm still working out, but I notice I'm getting sicker and sicker. And what I mean by that, one day between my pinky, I thought it was athlete's foot, a hole opened up, right?
No way.
But yes, but it keeps getting bigger and bigger going down my foot.
Like
So
a staph infection?
it's like your pinky right here, so a cut opens up in here. So you think it's an athlete's foot, right?
Right.
But it keeps going deeper till it's down right here.
Oh
So
wow.
now, you remember I used to have long dreads and everything, right?
Yeah.
So um, I'm still working out and I'm running with this hole in my foot for 3 years, but I notice I get a big goiter right here, right?
Yeah.
Got a lump, but you can't see it because I cover my dreads with it,
Right.
right? My ears back here just start every day. I'm leaking uncontrollable pus
Oh God.
every day, just leaking. I can put my forehead down. I can touch the mucus in my face. I'm like, so I'm going around like this for maybe maybe the first time for like a year, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And I noticed like, you know, my muscles are getting like more watery and stuff, right? I'm
Yeah.
not doing no steroids or nothing like that. This is all natural. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Been working out my whole life. You know what I mean? So I noticed I'm getting sicker and sicker. So one day I go to the doctor. She's like, you know, yeah, osteomyelitis. You know what I mean?
I
Basically,
never even heard of that.
uncurable foot cancer.
Oh God.
Supposedly nobody makes it out.
Oh God.
Okay. So I'm kind of taking it as a joke, right? At first. So for 3 years, she's like, we could scrape it. Maybe she's like, we're gonna have to sew your best thing we do is clean your foot out and sew your pinky and digit next to it together. So for 3 years, I'm still doing the same thing. My voice is groggy. I have a big goiter, right? Everybody's like, oh, you look so good. You're in shape, right?
Right.
People don't know I'm sick. So I start going to the cancer clinic every day. I'm getting MRIs and all this stuff testing because all my labs is good. But, you know, like I said, I'm sick. I'm trying to figure out why I'm sick.
Yeah.
My diet, you know, I eat a lot of processed foods, meat, sugar, and dairy products at the time at day
Hmm.
at will.
Right.
Okay. So as I'm doing this, I'm just taking the labs and everything for 3 years. The doctor's like, yeah, maybe, you know, your foot, whatever, may have to cut your foot off, whatever.
Jeez.
So I'm going around telling my friends, yeah, you know, one day I may be walking around here with no foot. Everybody, you know what I mean? I keep saying that to everybody, just like joking manner,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to condition their mind to get used to me like this, right?
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? But they don't know my family, my mom, my dad, my daughter, everybody. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
My brother, my sister, you know what I mean? My wife, everybody, right? Nobody knows I'm going through this. Okay, so about so so like right before I start the alkaline thing, I know I'm sick, so I'm kind of like saving up all my money at the time because I know I'm gonna need to fight this, right? So for like 3 years, at the same time, I start saving up my money because I know I'm gonna need to take about a year or two off to fight this. So I start saving all my money and everything, like you know, me a couple of years salary because I got to sit down and fight this, right?
Right.
I don't know how I'm gonna fight it or die, right? And so one day, da da da, we're at the beach, me and my best friend Robbie, right? And I'm telling him I'm sick, right?
Hmm.
Well, he's hinting to me he's sick, but I'm telling him, man, I got this thing. And I show him, he's like, what? He's like, what the hell? I would never know you're out here running. I had just finished running some sprints. I take off my boots and I show him my foot, socked the blood. He was like, what the hell? I said, yeah, bro. I had it for like 4 years. He goes, you ever heard of Dr. Sebi? This is 2016. I go, yeah, I know who he is. This is I go, yeah, in 1987, my mom, you know, he cured AIDS. You know what I mean? Everybody knows about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wasn't really on social Instagram. I was just Facebook, right? That,
Right.
right? So I didn't know all this was going down, right? He's like, maybe you should try it, right? So then I started, yeah, maybe I should. So I started researching, like I told you. I believe it's around this time, 2016 or something, right? So then I said, I'm gonna try it. I started educating myself on this stuff. I go on my first 30-day fast. I noticed my skin, everything cleared up. I lost a bunch of weight, but everything just was looking better. And I
You're
noticed for the
just
first
doing water in that fast, or just
straight water fast. I didn't know nothing. I just went straight water, maybe some
I didn't
banana.
know a 30 dayer, huh?
Yeah, but like I would take like some fruit juice or something and drink it, leave a little pulp in it. You know what I mean? So I can have something on my stomach, right?
Yeah.
So the first 72 hours, I noticed everything kicking out of my body, bam, coming out from the top, right? So I'm taking pictures every day.
Yeah.
So here, and I notice the cranial swelling stops.
Right.
Everything has to come off the head, the crown of your face. So it's coming down like this, right? So I'm comparing the pictures. I'm like, whoa, it looks like this kind of went down, right?
Yeah.
So what happened? Those first 30 days, my goiter went away.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I noticed for the first time, my foot was actually getting better. Right.
Hmm.
But I had told my friend Robbie when we were at the park, I said, yeah, I'm going to have to study. I said, I'm going to have to do the Dr. Sebi diet and go back to the processed food, then fast again, then do the processed food, then fast to see if this really works. I said, it's like going to be like a year and a half case study on myself. He's like, what?
Right.
You're cool. I'm like, no, bro, this is science. You know what I mean?
Right.
Notice the first time I did it, my foot started getting better. The day I got off the fast, right? Got a picture of eating some oysters.
Right.
I'm the most parasitic, I had a crab boil, right? So I'm eating some of the most parasitic. Soon as I eat that meal, mind you, I've been 30 days clean. I don't know nothing. I'm just learning, right? At the time, my whole attitude changed. My foot instantly is when that food digests. A couple hours later, my foot, I swear, my foot starts bleeding. It's
Just
back.
from oysters.
Just start arguing. You know what I mean? Just everything, right?
Yeah.
Back on the processed food diet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, my foot is getting worse and worse, right?
Right.
So bad where I got to go in. No, then I do another. No, so bad, I got to go in and have the surgery. So they go in. At this time, I'm 222 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
They go in, they scrape the inside of my foot about a bag of pus and mucus like this big.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sitting there because I woke up in the surgery. And I'm like, what is it? They show me it was like that much
Oh, God.
and mucus. And I'm like, oh, this is in my body still,
Like a
right?
Ziploc bag of
Oh my
pus.
gosh. They're like, bro, this is all in your foot. They sewed my pinky and the digit next to it together and said, you'll never be able to get rid of this again. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so now going to surgery. I come out 2 weeks later, I'm at the mercy of my wife, my mother, my father. Yeah. So my mom and they're cooking me all these sweet meals. My foot is getting worse and worse, right?
Right.
2 weeks later, infections, worse than ever. They start giving me antibiotics. My dreadlocks fall out, right? Then
Dreadlocks start falling out.
they gave me some type of chemo, fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Wow.
As soon as I took it, I woke up 5 of my dreadlocks were in bed the next morning.
Oh, God.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Stopped, right? And so it was like just taking the pain meds and everything. My foot was getting progressively worse.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, now it's starting to necrolyze. It's starting to turn black from the inside.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. So now imagine you're healthy. I'm still big because I'm doing all this upper body. I can't do nothing. This whole leg is as big as my arm
Oh, wow.
and walk. So my whole leg atrophies,
It started to atrophy.
atrophies real bad. So I can't even walk, right? Crawler. I'm on a crawler. I'm using a walker, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real bit. Scrape myself, drag my foot. Foot is dying. Going around like telling everybody. Doctor's talking about cutting off my foot and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so me and this doctor, when we first started going, right, we started talking about this stuff, blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah, I could fix it, whatever. And she was trying to get me to do that surgery, and I was just reluctant. I didn't do it. And then, so when I first started coming in to the clinic, me and the little nurse girl, little Mexican girl, we always, hey, we're all good term. We're always laughing, flirting, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 right? But every time I'm coming in, her face, she's progressively getting sadder and sadder
Yeah.
because she sees me deteriorating,
Right.
right? She's getting sadder and sadder, right? So now, mind you, I told you I had surgery. They're talking about cutting off, my foot now. Once again, I know about the Dr. Sebi stuff. Once again, so I make a conscientious decision. 6 months go by now. I haven't walked. My foot is black as my shirt. It's about to. I get on my hands and knees one day, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fast and pray, right?
Mm-hmm.
But get in a clean spirit, right? Because if you want anything, you have to fast and be in a clean spirit. It says that in books, right?
Yeah. So many religions, so many.
You have to, all the greats, you have to get on your knees. You have to be in a clean spirit. Look how really, and that's what I did for 7 days. My spirit was totally clean. I know nothing on me, no sex, no nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Clean spirit. And I got out here, right over here, and I prayed, right?
Mm-hmm.
That if I'm gonna take myself out, I'm gonna do it myself, and I'm gonna learn everything, and I'm gonna try to heal myself, right? So
Yeah.
I asked for what I wanted in a righteous manner, All right. So now I go in the house, I start fasting again, right?
Hmm.
I'm gonna show you something. This is eczema skin rejuvenation, right? This is my first product, all right?
What is it?
Eczema skin, I call it eczema skin rejuvenation, right?
Okay.
But it's a healing agent. It gets rid of eczema, acne, heals cuts, fucking skin cancers. I don't know. Okay.
Amazing.
Okay. Hear me out. Now, sitting out here about 2 weeks go by. Now, my first fast, I had bought a bunch of herbs. I was just taking them, but I never really knew. But now I'm starting to kind of get into the science.
Right.
I said, I'm gonna try to put this with this, right? Boiling. And I said, you know what? I took globs of this. I washed my foot out in herbs, the cut and the cancer and everything. I took this, stuck it all down in the cancerous area, right?
Right.
Right. Now, mind you, they done did surgeries, cut, scraped, poked, and prodded on me, shot my every week I gotta come and scrape the stuff out, right? To shoot needles is the most painful to your bone. You can feel the scrape on your bone. You're like, oh, but you still numb, but you can still feel it. Oh my God. Right?
Hmm.
So now the last time I went to this treatment, right? It was so terrible. I was in this house. Okay, I have one of my older friends. Her name's Lisa. I went to high school with her. It's one of my closest homegirls. She's one of my white homegirls, right from my neighborhood. Right, we grew up on the same block. She passed away from skin cancer. All right, she had a little son, Shane. And she's like, Arthur. She's like, when she was dying, she's like, you gotta take care of my son.
Hmm.
He's like, I'm like, fuck. Lisa, yeah. So I raised the little motherfucker. You know what I mean? Straight
Yeah.
up. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? On the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what we did. So I'm over here at this house. He lives 30 miles away from me. I can't drive. Everybody's gone over here. One day I'm in pain. I'm like, hey, Shane, he's 7. He's just turned 18. I
Hmm.
bought him a little bucket car. I said, you gotta come pick me up, man. You gotta take me to the hospital. He came and got me, right?
Hmm.
Mind you, this I didn't know this. So he looks at me, he watching me come at it. I'm like, oh, crawl out to the car, man. It's back seat. He's like looking and he's watching. We're driving, he's looking through the rear view, and he starts crying, bro. He's like, bro, I look at you like a superhero. He's like, my uncle's a tweaker, my grandparents, oh, my mom's dead. You're all I got. I'm like, what? I was like, oh shit. Now, mind you, this before, I went to the doctor and prayed. So he's telling me this is you're all I got, bro. What? Oh, I start crying and shit. Oh man. Oh. He's like, you're all I got, bro. He's like, if I lose you, what am I gonna have? I'm like,
Right.
fuck. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, Shane. So we get home. That's when I got on my knees and I started and I put that in my foot. And I swear for the first time, after 3 years, my foot started healing from the inside. I swear to God,
Mm.
just started healing. I
You
went
made
to
a
the
conscious choice right there.
went to the doctor. The little nurse came out. She said, Mijo, what'd you do? She said, oh my God, let me get the doctor. The doctor came out. Boom. She was pissed. She goes, you think you can heal yourself?
Oh God.
You think I'm lying? She said, you think you can heal yourself? I said, I don't know if I'm healing myself. I said, I know I'm sick, but I said, everything you were telling me to do registered in my mind wasn't making sick. You were telling me to keep my foot wrapped up. Everything was killing me. I said, you know what I mean? I said,
Yeah.
I don't, I said, this is what I told her. I said, when I walked out, I said, I'm on my way. I said, I don't have a podcast yet, but one day I'm gonna invite you on my podcast, right? This is what I
Yeah.
told her. Walked out of there, right?
Hmm.
That's how I knew I was on my road to healing. She gave me the confirmation. You get
Hmm.
it?
Yeah.
The doctor gave me the confirmation this shit worked.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So then I'm like, oh, this shit works,
Right.
right?
She wanted to have you as a forever client.
Man, I go home. Next thing you know, start go on a 33-day fast, bro. 33 days. So now going into the next year, now it's the healing phase. I figured it out. Go on a 33-day fast, right? I notice my foot starts healing. Does it? Feel me?
Yeah.
What do
The,
you mean?
the black, the black,
Now
the
I,
black color started going away.
all that started going away. Started taking the minerals, all the products I made. because I started studying real in depth. I mean, I went back from the beginning of time. I went to Socrates, everybody, Pascal, everybody at the beginning. I read modern literature. I read everything in the middle years. I got old encyclopedias before censorship, before the 50s. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
read those.
before the pharmaceutical companies
Yeah,
really started
right.
to
So I
take
came
over.
to the conscious decision. It's got to be plant-based, not
Right.
synthetic, right?
Hmm.
And what you're doing is you are actively killing yourself. Why? Because I've tested the science on myself now. Why? Because when I'm on this diet, this shit is breaking out and it hurts. When I do this, it seems to be healing, right? So which common sense, which one do I want to live in? I want some type of life back. I go on a 33-day fast. All the color comes back in. Now, after that, cut is going up. It's coming back. Now, mind you, the zone is still there. It's healing up. I'm starting to heal. Now I start kind of, I have a pool over here. I walk myself to the pool. I could only do 3 squats in the pool. That's it. Right? And like 3 leg kickbacks because I have to use my leg. Like it's
And
just
then
like,
after that, you would get pain or would get super fatigued.
my first day workout, right? I came back the next day, I did 9, right? The
Yeah.
next day, I do cross a lap walking across the pool, right?
Hmm.
And then the next day, I could do 30 squats in the pool. You see, then I could get up and do it. And I started working on my leg again, right?
Hmm.
Started rehabbing, right? Bringing myself back. Now I go back to eating now. It's plant-based alkaline diet. So now I start taking my 102, all this stuff I really created. You know what I mean? Different blends of stuff by the science, right? So now I use the 102 mineral plus because your body has 102 minerals, sea moss, bladder rag, and burdock root. I notice that's remineralizing my body. So this is the system I use to clean my body. That's what I put cell down. It works really good for people.
So
Yeah.
you were saying, so you said in that 102 mineral mix,
Mm-hmm.
there's sea moss, burdock
Burdock
root,
root,
and what was the other one?
bladder rack.
Bladderwrack.
Yeah, that's your 102 mineral component, right? So
Okay.
then, sea moss and burdock root, I use that to clean my arterial veins to get rid of all the plaques in the veins and everything.
Yeah.
Iodine, and that's where the lack of iodine, right? So the goiter and all that went away. Okay, so then I cleansed my gut with chelation, right? So when I learned about that, I wanted to start getting rid of all the built up fecal matter at the top of the gut. So the average person has about 8.3 liters, roughly 15 pounds of built up fecal matter in their body.
That's so
Okay?
crazy. I know I've
It's,
heard that several times, but it's just
it's the
so
truth.
crazy to think about.
Okay, because you'll notice you got to start up here and you have to use the chelations and everything because the doctor will give you a suppository or laxative and then it's only going to hit the bottom of your gut, right?
Right.
But you need to start up here in the intestinal wall and scrape it, like scrape the wall so then
Right.
everything can go perfect, right? You'll actually feel everything going through all your tubes coming out. And you'll notice it'll be black, mucus, callousy, mucoid plaques. You know what I mean?
And
Coming
what is that called to clear that out from the top?
like the mucoid plaque, the
Right.
black plaque, the mucoid plaque coming out
Yeah.
your body. So at first that, then you'll notice the layers, that real black stuff will come out, then it'll be maybe red, then the bilish, you know what I mean? Then it starts to be what you're eating. You know what I mean? Once you're clean,
Is that meant to be taken while fasting or it doesn't matter?
you're taking fasting or doesn't matter, okay? So like the chelation, I tell people take 6 capsules a day. If you're constipated, whatever your issues are in life, 6 capsules a day, you'll allows for 36 restroom visits a day.
And
Okay.
there's some charcoal in that or what are the some
Well,
of the
I
ingredients?
use like dried up papaya seeds, right?
Papaya seeds?
Wormwood, Casca sagrada, and a couple other proprietary blends, right? Kill the
Right.
gut. Bam, and it goes down and it gets work. It's just awesome, right?
I
But
need some of that. I need some of
also
that.
that kills the tumors, okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Um, next, so then like the bioferral, because we're gonna cleanse the blood, right? So we're
Right.
gonna use herbs to cleanse the blood. So my approach is, I'm gonna cleanse my whole system. Why? Because this is what I did, and I noticed my cancer, my uncurable cancer, cured itself faster. It took 6, 7 years for this to come. You hear what I'm saying? It took relatively me learning, making a conscientious decision, and then actually executing a plan 3 to 6 months to get rid of. But it
Wow.
took you to get here. Does it make sense?
That's amazing.
You see what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
because it has to build up in your body. So that's why, mind you, when we get to where we're going with the sound healing, because I had did everything to myself, so that's why it was so easy for me to work with him. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so now I'll cleanse my blood with the bioferro. You know, that has herbs that cleanse your blood, remineralize your blood, meaning what? Oxygenates your blood. So now your blood's clean, right? So it flows better, right? So it's
Hmm.
flowing through your body, your veins. You got more energy, right? Clean blood. We all want clean blood, right?
Right.
So now, if you're sick, decalcification, stones, different things, obviously I cancer, I built up stuff in my body.
Well, this
When I
decalcification is so important for the pituitary gland.
pituitary gland, penile, because mine gets I get when I'm inflamed right here, you can tell it goes all right there to the front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I have to take the decalcifying agents. Like I said, you'll notice cranial de-inflammation, come down, and everything comes out. So I did that, and then for my male system, Testo Plus, natural testosterone booster because I was fasting. So and then I was using Mirgum white oak bark, brush my teeth, pull all heavy metals out of my mouth.
And what was that
Okay,
one called?
Mirgum white oak bark, I made it. It's a blend, pulls all the heavy metals out your mouth.
And
Right.
that's
So
that's a capsule you take?
you take the powder and brush your teeth with it.
Oh, okay.
Gets rid of
Okay.
batteries, everything, like pulling the heavy metals, wash out, soak out your mouth, right? Okay, now the reason for this is say I'm fasting, but I'm putting all the minerals cleansing out my body, right? And the green food, and I'm cleansing out my pancreas, right? So I'm cleansing out my whole body. I'm not putting nothing bad in my body, but I'm getting my whole mineral content and I'm actually kicking out everything out of my system, right?
Right.
So when I did that, I healed fast. Why? Because it raised my pH, balance above. Here's another thing. When I found out I had the cancer after when Shane told me that, I got a pH meter because we got a pool, and I put it in my mouth and whatever. And it's 4.8. I said, oh, I have cancer. And everything clicked.
Mm.
Because you know what I mean? Just like the light bulb. He did that. I came in the house, limped in. The strips were sitting there. I went, then I did it with the pee. I put it in my mouth, a test, I pissed. I did it again. I'm like, damn, cancerous. It's all
Right.
in my body. It's me.
Right.
I kind of know what to do. This is what I'm thinking. I kind of know what to do though, because I'm kind of been studying this, right?
Yeah.
So, oh, excuse me. Now, after I start healing, right, my same friend Robbie, sitting on my garage one day in October, he's like, "Hey, you should write a book with all the information you know now."
There you go.
I go, "What?
I like this guy, Robbie.
What?" I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah." See, I said, "You got me twisted. I'll start right now." He goes, "No, you won't." I started and I put on my Collard Green Collective. That was my first site. And on Instagram, now the Collard Green Collective actually started as a barbecue site, me and my brother barbecuing, but I changed it to alkaline because I knew the social media, right?
Right.
And I put who I was. And I just started posting stuff about little food I was doing, right? When I was sick, trying to heal, right?
Right.
I had 79 followers at the time, and people were like, this one lady was like, hey, everything you're posting is I copied everything and my dad it helped my dad no longer has what he has. Then another lady said it, right? Then another lady said it, right? They're like, just keep I only had 79 followers. And they're like, just keep doing what you're doing. This is like 2018 or something, right? I didn't even know how this worked, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm just posting. You know what I mean? I don't know about a hashtag or nothing. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I don't even know how Instagram works. You know what I mean? I swear.
Yeah.
And I'm just posting a video talking to some food or something. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Uh, the next thing you know, they're like, people keep hitting me up. I'm like, wow, I know it worked for me, but nobody's buying nothing or nothing. Then the next thing you know, it's like this attorney lady said that. Then it's like, you got to keep going. For some reason, 3 different attorneys reached out to me one week. The next thing you know, my page blew up. One day I woke up and I said something. I got 12,000 followers one night. You know what I mean? The heck is
So
this?
what did the attorneys have to do with that, you think?
I don't know. They were just like they were saying everything I'm doing was helping them out. I
Oh,
have
okay.
no idea. You know what I mean? I was just
They
weird.
probably
I don't
started
they're like
sending it to
nothing.
their people.
I have no idea to this day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said. posting food and like I'm trying to heal. You know what I mean? I didn't
Yeah.
know, right? My friend, he tells me, um, excuse me, it's getting hot. Sorry. Um, to write the book. So I wrote the inserts of the book right then and there.
Hmm.
Okay. If I tell you 30 days later he passes away for deep vein thrombosis, this is the man who told me everything to heal, but he was sick too, right?
Mm.
He watched me heal, but he didn't do it. And I was telling him, man, you guys got to start doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I was telling them at the time, man, this is better than any weed we ever smoked. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're like, man, I'm telling you, fasting, this is the highest uncontrollable. They're like, what? I'm like, no, I said, day 4 and 5 of a fast, you'll be like, why I never did this before in my life. You'll be feeling on top of the earth. You'll have so much energy and all this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm like, the first days you're gonna feel like crap. But that's what you need to go through. You know what I mean? Because you got to get all that out your system. But after that, you're gonna start feeling so good. Then you're gonna make. If the longer you do it, you're gonna make a conscious decision with yourself. Do I really want to feel like that the same way? And then it must be that this stuff I'm putting in my body is making me lethargic, have an attitude problem. It's making me slow, makes me tired. But when I eat these things, I get more energy. I'm able to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
And
prana
I'm
and
able.
chi, right? Like it's like the more
Mhm,
natural it is, the more from the earth it is, the more prana, the more life force it
mhm.
has, right?
More life force, more energy, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And yeah, you have to kind of yin and yang. You have to go through it. Meaning what? I tell people you got to go through it for like a year, like I did. Fast, go back to your diet, fast, do which one you like. You know what I
Right.
mean? You,
Right.
you got to test your body out. I don't know what to say. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's the truth, though. You have to. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? It's up to you. The decision is yours. I know it works for me now. You know what I mean? I know it saved my life. You know what I mean? And then
So just to backtrack a little bit, so within three
mhm,
to 6 months, your foot completely regrew all the skin, everything fused together, everything healed up
watch.
completely.
Okay. 3 to 6 months. So now remember, I told you, oh, you can heal yourself, everything. Put the eczema skin rejuvenation, this right here, all in my foot. So now I'm using it at will, soaking my herbs. I'm eating right. I come off it fast. I'm eating alkaline. I'm starting doing, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
starting to do my thing right. I'm trying to learn more. I'm writing my book. I'm experimenting with my concoctions. You know, I'm in my laboratory. You know what I mean? Before I'm saying anything.
Alchemist, alchemizing.
Yeah, before I'm really saying anything, putting it to the public, all my friends who are sick, I'm like, try this, do this
Right.
program, right? And I'm,
Yeah.
I'm watching them get better. Okay, okay, okay. So I go on a year of beta testing in my neighborhood. My sister, she loses a bunch of weight. You feel me? Here,
Yeah.
do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody in my family here, take this. I'm watching them. You know what I mean? Taking my notes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Like,
great
it
that
works. You know what I mean?
it's great
Before I
that
even
they
say
start
anything to
showing
the
it.
public, before I even
Yeah.
say anything to the public, I go like, yeah, I'm just here, try this. Everybody, here he comes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here, try this. You know what I mean? So they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I love the soap, everything. You made this soap. Oh, it's made my skin. I'm like, you should get rid of this and do this. Try this. I made this. Try it out. See if I know it works for me. I got to have blacks, I got to have whites, I got Mexicans, Filipinos, I got everybody I got here. I need you to do this for me. You know what I mean? Why? Because I
Right.
need to know if it works on everybody.
Right.
They're like, this guy. So I'm doing this, going around, and everybody I know, this guy's crazy right now, but I'm having a great time. They're like, I love it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
know. I'm like, I noticed they're not rejecting me. I notice when I give it to them, they're like, hey, can you think I can get some more of that? You know what I mean? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Instead of like run away. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, I need another one of those. Can I get 5 more of them soaps? You made those soaps? You know? I'm like, yeah, yeah, but we're just testing stuff right now to see if it works. You know what I mean? Before
Right.
we go to market, I gotta say I want to kill nobody or nothing. I don't know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm doing true science. True science.
Yeah, it's true
You know what I
science
mean?
right there.
I'm
Yeah.
just doing true science. You know what I mean? Nothing more, nothing less. You know what I mean? That's all I'm really doing.
Yeah.
Right. So I got all the proof that to anybody ever I would hurt their feelings. So now the very first case I healed, like like publicly, socially or whatever, this lady on social media from Florida, she's getting at me. She's like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu lady, but she's having problems. So one day she's being evasive with me, right? So I'm working with her and I'm like, look, I already know what she has, right? Because by how she's the questions and what she's telling me. So, but I wanted her to say it, right? Now, she has HIV. So one day I'm like, I already know she has HIV, blah, 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 but she's being evasive, right? So one day I get on her real aggressive. I'm like, look, if you want me to, I'm doing this out of my time for free for you. You're gonna have to be totally honest with me. So I don't want to waste my time with you. Some people you got to get on kind of aggressive, right?
Right.
And be firm with them. And I was like, look, tell me the honest truth, and I may be able to help you, right? And she was like, okay, I said, okay, good. I had just made my product called Life Tonic. Life Tonic is natural plant iron. I had read a book in 2000. I used to work in the law library. All right. Well, I was in the law library and somebody had misplaced the book, a big HIV manual. So I took the HIV manual home and read it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. My brother named, oh, you have AIDS. You know what I mean? No, fool.
Yeah.
No, this is information. One day I'm gonna need this. You know what I mean? He's like, why
Yeah.
would you take this? I'm like, man, this is an interesting book. I
Yeah.
read books. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people who don't read, it's just like, you know what I mean? I've always read comics, books, everything coming up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's just you can't tell a person who doesn't read. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You should go with the joke. And then so I read that book. But what I had learned from that, I learned how it was created. I already knew, but I just wanted to see. So, you know, I'm what they call a conspiracy theorist type of guy. And now
Right.
we're probably called the fact checkers now because we've been right about
That's
everything.
right. That's
They should
right.
call
That's
us the
right.
fact checkers, bro.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? Really, they should call us the fact checkers, bro. It
Yeah,
needs to be the
man.
new name, bro. They need to switch it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
We've been
Yeah, the
right about
truth, the
everything,
truth
right?
speakers, the truth speakers.
Yeah. So we've been right. All right. So I wanted to see in my mind what I learned if this book would correlate any of it. And it did. SIV, Siamese. It started from monkey virus, right? Blah, 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 blah. It's basically everything. So led me to believe, okay, what does this shit hates? It hates plant iron. It doesn't, you know what I mean? HIV, SARS virus, stupid 19 and everything like that. You seen me during COVID. I cured over 10,000 people. You feel me? Now everybody has a spike detox. I was the first. I was the one talking about this shit had parasites and everything coming out of them. Why? Because I had all the people sending me this stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and that's why they never. Well, anyways, the uh, the spike protein and the tonics and everything within the body, those get rid of all the parasites and mucus and cleanse the iron in the blood. All right. So,
And that's what, so just to
mhm.
um recap,
uh,
the HIV like can't handle iron. Is that what kills it off?
so okay, like the sea moss in here, like plants like this, the reason why they're so powerful is because when they're in the ground, when the rocks and roots, whatever, they're actually pulling all the base minerals. They're doing the true alchemy process that no man could do, right?
Right.
So SIV, HIV hates plant iron. It is that simple. That's what boosters T cells. Because why? Remember, they're doing what? They're coming into the body to infiltrate the good guys, which are the T cells,
Right.
right? Once they take over the T cells have no way to replenish, right? So now anything else, what else is in your body, naturally is just going to come out. You see what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
whatever. Virus, cold, your guy's going to get sick because he has no immune system, right?
Right.
So what do we have to do? We have to make sure the good guys are what? Able to reinforce themselves at will. That's plant iron.
Hmm.
Why? Because plant iron is going to kill the bad guys.
Okay. And what are some of the higher plant iron?
Sarsaparilla, yellow dot, um, burdock root, contribo. I like muculi. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Kalawala root. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Basically, all alkaline, kind of like all the plants on the alkaline spectrum, blue vervain. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
those right there are like the real powerful ones.
And you
Um,
took a lot of them and blended them into this
yeah,
plant
I took
tincture.
over 57 different of the top powerful alkaline herbs.
And that's what you ended up giving her.
Gave her that in the system. I told her, right? So we started. I said, here's how we're going to run this. Because now I know about healing because
Right.
of me. I haven't even finished my story.
I know.
But now, ain't been my story. But anyways, now I know about healing because of her, right? So what we do is same thing. 102 Minute Plus, clean out your body, drink this tonics at will, right? Drinks it. Then I told her when it's time to eat, I want you to eat alkaline. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Do it again. All right. No sugar. No sugar, no sugar, no starch, no just why? Just listen to me for a while. All right.
And when you say no sugar, you're talking about like refined sugars, not like
Yeah,
fruit.
glucose, processed sugar, no bread, carbohydrates,
What
plant
about
sugar,
fruit?
fruit sugar, wonderful. You know that. All fruits and vegetables I'm gonna tell you to recommend. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bad sugar. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's how they
it's
trick
so
us out.
crazy when people it blows my mind when people say, "Oh, the fruit's got just as much sugar." And I'm like, that's a totally different kind of sugar.
The sugar for your carb. It's like you know that helps you burn off stuff. You need that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what you
Right.
need. You don't see a piece of apple or something. You don't want that. So like me, I see a piece of fruit and I kind of want to be like, yeah, I want to eat that. You know what I mean? And stuff
Yeah.
like that. So can you still, is the vision still good? Can you still see it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, cool. All right. So, anyways, it hates the plant iron. Okay.
Hmm.
So, like I said, I made her go through my system, drink the tonics, eat alkaline, go back on the system, drink the tonic, eat alkaline, right? Go back on the system. Then I said, go test, right?
Hmm.
She tests. She's like, oh my God. She had HSV1, HSV2. She had HIV, right? All her tests were negative. She
Wow.
was she's when she first started her skin and her body, she was about 50 pounds overweight. Her skin was as black as my shirt. Now it's nice and healthy. Everything went away. And honestly, it didn't even look like the same damn person.
Wow. So how long do you think that took?
It took about 3 months.
3 months. Okay.
About 3 months. Okay.
Wow.
It took about
And
3 months. But honestly, she was already done at 3 months, but I made her go do the full six. You see what I'm
okay.
saying? Because her
Right.
body was already alkalized. She was already testing. She was like, it came back negative. I said, do it in 3 months. I mean, in
Uh,
6 months, like the standard test. You know what I mean? Don't
Yeah.
rush it. You know what I mean? And we did that. And she was on her way. You know what I mean? In life.
Amazing.
She was on her way in life. She started doing, doing basically what I do and helping other people out and just, living her best life. You know what I mean? A beautiful story.
Amazing.
I mean,
Amazing. So at
yeah.
this point in your journey, was your book already out or not yet?
Um, okay, so like I said, with my boy Robbie, okay, so my boy Robbie, he told me to write the book. I start writing the book, 30 days later, it passes, right? Book comes out, I had to bury him. Book comes out when I had to bury him, right? And then that's when I started healing the lady we just talked about and everything. Because then
Okay.
everybody was like, write a book on Instagram, right? And then I was, because I have kind of like a wealth of information, so I just condensed it all to an easy way.
How many pages is it?
Roughly 210. So
20?
basically, no, 210.
Oh, 210. Okay.
Yeah, basically, just like my list, everything. I give you how to weigh herbs, how to make some type of herbs, right? 37 different recipes, different ways to fast, what the herbs look like. This is back in the beginning, 2018.
And
You know what I
and if
mean?
people want to find the book, what's the name of it?
It's Alkaline Herbs and Recipes. They can go to Amazon and find it. Alkaline Herbs and Recipes, Arthur Harris, or they can go to my website, alkalineherbsandrecipes.com. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
and we'll drop all the
Yeah.
links underneath too. Yeah.
Mhm. And then so like where were we at? Recap, where were we at?
So we were talking about how you helped this woman
Hmm.
heal from HIV, but I want to backtrack a little bit
Okay.
about and bring it back to your story, where we were saying that took about 3 to 6 months for you, right? And did you watch the color fade away, and then did the skin start growing back? You never got your foot
Okay, so
amputated or anything, right?
never got my foot. So what happened is my legs started growing back in, all the color came back into my foot, right? After
Hmm.
the first 33-day fast, I still walk with a limp. So now for a year, the next year, I'm rehabbing, meaning just trying to do my squats. I can't run yet. I didn't run for 3 years. Put it
Oh
like that.
wow.
Just started. Yeah, I didn't run for 3 years. I wasn't competent yet. doing band training and everything, right?
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of hiking. You know what I mean? Hiking to get my legs back, right? And then uh buried my homie Robbie after that. When I had just went on the 33-day fast, and after I buried my buddy Robbie, I went on the 44-day fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's what happens. Now at this time, my foot and everything, it's been a minute, right? I think my foot's been sewn together like 15 months now, right? Something like that's been sewn together like that, 15 months. On the 44-day fast, day 27, I'm hiking in. I'm at Lake Hodges. I'm hiking on Lake Hodges. I'm like 7.5 miles in, right? So you're at the point where you can't turn back. You got to finish. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
I'm on
yeah,
hike. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That's
yeah.
the point of no return. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at that point in the hike, and all I feel is a big pop and this pain, just like there's like a sharp pain in my foot that just reached into my soul right real fast.
Oh
Like
gosh.
I was like, I can't believe this. And I started talking to God. I'm like, man, I'm fasting and everything. And I could feel all the pain and like just like whatever was coming out of my foot, right? I could just leak in for a minute. Sharp pain at first. I was like, I can't believe this. I said, man, I've been fasting, doing everything right. You're gonna bring this back, right? I start hiking. You know what I mean? You used to get out. Finally, I get home by 8:30 at night. I take off my boot and everything. And where my pinky and everything was sewn together, it had came apart.
Oh wow.
I got movement back. It spread apart. Everything is healed.
Oh wow.
So, ooh, this really works. I
Jeez.
show. I just start showing everybody, look, 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 look. I'm telling my show. Remember, she said it's gonna be sewn together for the rest of my life. I told you I would get this off. You guys
Right.
don't believe in nothing around here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I said, you guys listen to everybody except God. That's what I'm telling everybody. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, you gotta listen. Man. You know, that's what I'm telling them. I said, boy, I told you, man. You know what I mean? They're
Right.
like, oh, I told you I was gonna get rid of this one day. Naturally, I told you. I
Yeah.
told you. I was stoked because
You
now,
did it,
it's not,
man.
I'm
You did
walking with
it.
a limp. I did it, and I'm like, oh my God, did it. Thank you, God. I mean, could get up in there, clean it out, start hitting there. I really started, like, I had some little type of balance because I had walked with a gait because the pinky was sewn together. I didn't have full balance, you know what I mean? I
Hmm.
had balance again, you know what I mean? And I just started going really in depth. Well, I didn't stop. I started real with all herbs, all minerals for like the next till now, you know what I mean? I just went all in on myself, right? Because I knew I wanted to heal, right? I didn't want my experience to be bad with nobody. And I didn't know how people looked up to me, like Shane and all. You know what I mean? They're like, dude, we look at you like a superhero around here. You're like a
Right.
neighborhood superhero around here. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
what? You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah.
You needed to
You
hear
know what I
that. You
mean?
needed to hear that in that
I
moment.
needed to hear that, bro. I'm serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, because I was like open and just like kind of giving up. I was like, damn, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then after that, when full just started leaving real tough. And like I said, I tested on myself. It worked. Tested on my people. It works. I knew I had to keep going, you know, and then plus Most High God told me, man, you have to do this now because I gave you a wealth of information. So it's your job. You have to spread it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I made you this way to do this. You see what I'm saying? I rewarded you like this, created a new career. Off the products you've created, new industries, all products you've created for people. You know what I mean? Off
Mhm.
your word, and don't you see how powerful I am? You got it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm bound to nowadays. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah, we
that.
still got to do that book tour. When I met you, it was
Oh
right
yeah,
before COVID, and
yeah.
yeah, it was like you were talking about the book tour, and I was like, let's go, you know?
Shoot, man, I went to a few places, man. I've been nice. I was for a while. I was doing a lot of engagements, right? And then just kind of tailed back because during the height of it, I was about to do one conference somewhere, and I was teaching people how to get rid of the stupid 19. And I got a lot of pressure from some government sources at the airport when I got home. A lot of pressure.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
A lot of intimidation, a lot of stuff like that for a while, right?
yeah,
Well, that's how I knew I was right. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
destroyed my products and everything. And they reimbursed me and everything, but they were pulling me over and different things like that for a minute. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when they were doing that at the height of the situation, right? That's when I knew it worked. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you were tapping into something ancient.
And then see, because everything the World Health Council said that cures stupid 19, I have been putting in my tonic plus 57 other more powerful things. Now I see everybody saying we've been saying this. You know what I mean? We
Right.
proved it. Knew we should have just listened. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
We wanted you to listen because we wanted you to be healthy and we wanted you to be aware. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, we didn't want that unnatural thing in people, right?
Right.
And now the job to get that out is if you need to get that out, that unnatural thing, you need to fast. You need to starve yourself till your body produces autophagy, right? And you need to take some type of gut cleansing agent. Remember, like I said, the bioferail chelation, you need to load up on things, plant iron, that is going to cleanse your blood. But you have to go into your body and you have to let your body eat up all those proteins.
Right.
And you have to do that. That's just the only way to it. You know what I
So,
mean?
so yeah, so when in the story, uh, I think we met right before COVID, right?
Yeah, right before COVID, right before COVID, and it goes down. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I- right. I think COVID's like COVID, but it's not lockdown yet. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Yeah, it was right before lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so do you want to share a little bit about the story of the gentleman that you were working with at that time?
Okay, well, this is a great story right here. Hold
Yeah,
on,
I
let me.
love this story.
This is a great story. So, like, my mom, right? So one day, my mom's going to this wellness clinic, right? And she's like, come with me. I want you to go to the sound healing or what. I'm like, huh? She's like, just come with me one day. She's like, can you take me here? I'm like, where are you going? You know what I mean?
Right.
She's like,
Right.
come with me. I'm like, where are you going first? You know? She's like, all right. So I take her out. Come on, we're roll my mom. Just go roll my mom. See what she's up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we go up in there. And then what was the lady's name, the owner of the place? I forget her name.
Oh
Very nice,
man.
wonderful woman.
Yeah, really,
I
really
forget her
sweet
name.
woman. I forgot her name.
Really sweet woman.
Yeah.
Really sweet woman. I forget her name. Anyways, then so we're there and it's sound healing, right? I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, I wrote about this in my book. Perfect. You know, I mean, I do it at home with, my YouTube and stuff, but this is live and direct, At the
Right.
time, mind you, I had just came out of all my battles. Everything I told you, I'm a cured man now. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So this is, I just got the book. My page is blowing up. So this is
Dreads
everything.
are dreads are glowing like a Super
Dreads are
Saiyan.
glowing. You know what I mean? Um, but everything's cool, right?
Yeah.
I'm working with maybe this is my most in depth guy, uh, and we're there, right? So at the time, everything that I giving him, making him he's on like day 38 or something, fasting or something, right?
Right.
All the products, scraping his gut, mineralizing his body, pulling the metals out of his mouth. He's already lost 40 something pounds. He looks totally different from when he started out the pictures. We come in, meet you, we do your sound healing, right? It's probably the best experience of my life. You know what I mean? And when he's done, he's explaining all his colors, everything that he felt, and everything. Now, after that, I go to the wellness springs and hot desert springs. I go to the hot desert springs, right?
Hmm.
I'm there at the hot desert springs. I get a call from my buddy talking about, hey, hey, hey. I'm like, what? 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 I got a bag. I'm pooping on. This is my bag, man. It's big too. I said, just it's in the toilet. I said, scrape it. All right.
Okay, so
So
we were just talking about how your client was on the toilet and he calls you, and what does he say?
he's like, hey, 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 hey. There's a bunch of stuff in the toilet. I'm like, what? What? I said, scrape it up, put it in the bag. When I come home, we'll go to the doctor and check it out. I said, You know what it is? I said, you know what it is? I said, I didn't want to tell you, but you had colon cancer. You know what I mean? I
Oh,
said, about
wow.
how you were complaining. I knew you had colon cancer, but I said, if I'd have told you you had colon cancer, you wouldn't have did my program. You
Right.
know what I mean? He's
Right.
like, what? I said, yeah, when you take that in, they're gonna tell you you had colon cancer. Just trust me. And then when you go in there, I said, you don't have colon cancer no more. They're gonna try to get you on chemo, right?
Right.
Goes in there. He calls me, hey, he's like, what are you, some type of encyclopedia or something? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, everything you said exactly. I said, bro, I studied this stuff, bro. I said, I've been studying real in depth, bro, and I'm in tune right now. I can tell by looking at you. I already knew what you had for years and years of your Facebook posts. You know what I mean? And you're always
Mhm.
going to the same doctor, and your gut's always sick. I already knew what was wrong with you. You know what
Right.
I mean? And I know you.
Right.
You're one of my best friends. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He's like, what? And so that's what happens, right? And then I always think about this because remember he was like, during the sound healing, you were asking him about the colors that he was seeing, like the reds and the yellows and the purples and everything like that. And he was describing it. I always thought, man, when the gong and everything was on him, that's what vibrated and knocked it off. I
Right.
believe that to this day. I mean, we had already killed it, but that was the final step in re removing tumors. Why do I believe that? Because that sound therapy is an internal thing and it's just going to shake up everything on the inside in a beautiful way. And if you're doing everything properly wise for those things, those anomalous tissues to detach, what better way for detachment through vibration, right?
Right.
And
Right.
since me, you know what I mean? I mean, you know what I mean? You ever seen an avalanche?
Yeah.
You can create an avalanche with sound vibration.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So,
a frequency, right? It's like it's vibrating at a frequency that is
right.
really beneficial to the body, and the cells start to remove all the toxins, and then yeah, I mean it's fascinating.
So now you got clean cells that are fighting with more cells, and you got a remineralized body, and then you're doing the vibration. Your body's kind of repair
Right.
instantly. Why do I know that? Well, I remember. So imagine if we were back in the old world and everybody was ringing the bell at 12 o'clock noon.
Right.
Imagine how you would feel.
Yeah.
Imagine how the whole old world used to feel
Yeah.
when bells used to go off synchron. Because this is one thing I do know before my community got big, when we used to ring our bell every day, the whole town could hear it.
Oh, yeah.
And it had a common effect
Yep.
in the town.
Yep.
And and everybody used to be like, now there's 200,000 people in our town. Like when there's only 30,000, you hear the bell every day. Everybody, oh, look, everybody out of the bell. Ooh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know secret, right? Everybody knows in their head frequency,
Yep.
right? You don't have
Yeah.
that, but I got charms. You can hear that. I got to be in the charm. You know what I mean? But outside of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to do like a scientific experiment just on our own with like a 432 hertz flute, like I got that, which is like
Mm-hmm.
the frequency of the earth. And then like 528 hertz is where
Right.
John Lennon recorded Imagine, the
Ooh,
song
that's what he
Imagine.
recorded that at, huh?
Yeah, and like a lot of those guys back then, that was the hippie movement. So they were experimenting with frequency and they were
Right.
seeing what was really helping people.
Mm-hmm.
And like, they really were onto something.
Yeah,
They were
right.
really figuring it out. And then
Well, I was just saying, you were talking about Lennon, them how they said he recorded what Imagine at 528, and
528 hertz, yeah.
yeah, so I was talking about Gobbles, Rockefeller, Standard Oil, all the big dogs. They got together, right? 1929, right?
Right.
The ISO, right? Changed the frequency, which used to be what?
On the
400,
radio, right?
right? It used to be a natural healing frequency, right?
Right.
They changed it to 440 hertz, which is a war scale frequency, right?
I was gonna say that. Yep.
Okay. So all the music actually is tuned at a war scale,
Right. On the radio. Yep.
um, static white noise,
Right.
basically.
It's not good for you. It's keeping you in that fear-based mentality in that lower frequency.
Doom, doom, doom. You know what I mean? The high pitch. And then, so,
And then you bring in rappers and different types of music where talking about, killing
And
and
it has an effect on you when you're young. I'm a product of that. Trust
I
me, it does.
know, me too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a product of that. You know what I mean? It
Yeah, I
has.
grew up with Eminem. I grew up in Detroit, so I
Yeah.
was
Oh,
always
you from
bumping it.
D-Town. Yeah, you already know that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You already know it becomes a product of your environment. You know, I mean, I saw Eminem here in 2000 at he was at Belly Up Tavern one
Oh,
night by
wow.
himself in '99, right?
Oh,
When
that's
he first
amazing.
coming
You
out,
got him
right?
before he was
We were
it was
up in there
big.
trolling him. You know what I mean? Back in
Yeah.
the days, I ain't even gonna lie, '99. You know what I mean? He was doing his
Yeah.
little show trying to get on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When Dre first signed him, you know what I mean? He wasn't nothing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Real talk. You know, we were up in there one night acting rowdy. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right.
I'm just saying, but yeah, so the war scale music, it changed, you know what I mean? And like you said, rappers, whether it's rock and roll, whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's the frequency, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's a lot of things I noticed with fasting and healing with me. I mean, I still listen to them, but not as much. I can't listen to those same frequencies. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah, there is a solution to it where they've came out with an app called 528 Radio. And
Did I?
they take the radio music and they convert it into 528 hertz and then
Oh,
they release it that way on the app.
oh, that's tight.
Yeah, so if you want to listen to something that is mainstream, that's a great way. But
Yeah.
where I think humanity's going is you got a lot more conscious music, singing because people are starting to really understand how deep this really runs for our psyche and for our everything, our whole body, right?
Mhm.
Uh, so there's all these conscious rappers, all these conscious musicians that are singing from a different space. They're not speaking
Right.
from pain, they're speaking
Mhm.
from love, and they're really trying to elevate the frequency of the planet. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Big ups to all those people.
Well, we could see it like this, okay? If you go back in the days, like my grandma and them used to say, "Man, you listening to the devil's music? Why you say that, right?" Well, these people used to grow up singing gospels,
Right,
right? These
right,
people grew up listening to rhythm and blues, right? Love frequency. So what happens? More children and things was born. We were listening to music to deteriorate the population.
right,
So they were right. You see, but we didn't know. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. We didn't want to listen.
He didn't listen, bro. So it was right. You know what I mean? He
Yeah,
didn't listen at the time. So but the earth at the same time has a way of repairing itself. The body has a way of repairing itself. But sometimes, in order for it to be repaired, you have to go through what? All those extreme conditions, right? And it's
right,
almost to the point where, like you were talking about, different musics, it's almost to the end. These guys are playing themselves out. You know
right.
what I mean? With everything they're doing. And you can see slowly conscientious and more soulful music is coming back in with message. You know
Big
what
time.
I mean?
Yeah.
Because message is very important. You know what I
People,
mean?
people want real. People want authentic. That's
Right.
why I'm seeing it, on Instagram. The stuff
Hmm.
that's really like quote unquote trending, right, is like when
Right.
people are talking real, like us right now.
Right.
You're seeing
Hmm.
a lot more people coming out and being like, all right, I don't care about that fake stuff. Give me something real. I want to feel, I
Right.
want to
Right.
experience what this
Mm.
life is really like. I don't and everybody, regardless of where people are at, you can tell when something's fake, you
That's
know? And
right.
you can get brainwashed and stuff like that for sure. But at the core of it, if you really tune in, take some time to sit in silence, right? You can tune in. Anybody can.
Anybody can.
Yeah.
That's another thing with with fasting and everything like that too. Teaching people because once you can tune into conquering your hunger a little bit, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't become such of a big issue because remember, your body uses a third of its energy alone for digestion all day. So the
Yeah.
body's spending a third of its time thinking about food digestion. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So once you begin to conquer that, you know what I mean, and learn to live with that, you know what I mean? More truth comes out in soul and essence also, you know what I mean? Because it's more truthful and it makes you a very stronger person. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and I would say that I wouldn't recommend people just diving into a 30-day water fast.
No, 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 no.
You know what I
No,
mean?
no,
Like
no, no.
you did it
You
more
start
extreme
six
than
hours, you
most.
do an intermittent fast, you look at the foods and different things you want to kick back on that first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you do it like that. You consciously get rid of, okay, I want to try to stop doing this. I want to try to stop eating this, whatever. attack one thing or two, three things at a time. You're
Right.
gonna intermittent fast. Start at 3 hours. Start if you eat every hour, don't eat for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Different things like that. You
Yeah.
figure out what your cycle and what your circadian rhythm is because everybody else's is different. You know what I mean? And that's what
Yeah.
you have to learn.
Yeah, you got to start slow, especially for people that are eating a lot of fast food, and drinking
Mhm.
soda, stuff like that. Slowly easing out of it,
Right.
right? And the person has to really be ready. Sometimes it takes something real extreme,
Just
like what you went through, for people to really wake up out of it, out of the illusion, out of the matrix, as we call it,
actually, I spend at least like $9,000 to $1,000. I mean, $900 to $1,000 a month just on fast food when I was sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just scrubbing every day. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
hmm
Just looking, just looking forward. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
once I found out at the time that was what was making me sick because I couldn't figure it out. You know what I mean? What is making me sick? You
Right.
know what I mean? I don't live by a nuclear facility or nothing. I don't believe. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. Listen. If you're working out your whole life and you're doing everything, they tell you that you're on the buff guy. You see the big buff guy. That was me at the time. You're the epitome of health, right?
Right.
Wants to be the epitome of health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was
It
like,
it just it just goes to show that anything that you eat is becoming part of you, you know? And the fast food is the worst because they're taking the most sick cows, the
mm,
ones that live in the worst environments. They don't have any grass, they don't have any, like, they're stuck in pens.
oh, dairy cows.
And then yeah, and then they're killing them in a really inhumane way. And
Oh,
all that energy, it's just frequency. It's all going into your body, and then that builds up, and then people develop dis-ease. The body goes into dis-ease.
it does.
Yeah,
Big facts, bro.
yeah,
Exactly what it does all the time, man. And we get this glue-like substance in our body. It's that glyphosate, that gluten substance. All the food we eat turns into this glue, like it's just a glue, a gelatin. And you can see it coming out your body. You pay attention when you're fasting and detoxing on a lymphatic drainage. You're like, what is this? What is this stuff, man? You know what I mean? What
yeah.
is this you know, as compared to I'm eating this and it doesn't look like this. So I'm eating a bunch of fruit, but that's what it is. You know what I mean? A glue-based diet, pink slime, and all those different things that imagine for years and years we've been eating all this. I'm talking about back, not now that we know. I'm thinking when we were kids. That's when it's built up. When you're younger, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's in our system constantly. You know what I mean? It's like a fish. We got a high mercury count now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The bigger the fish, the higher the mercury count. You know what I mean? Basically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the bigger the person, the older you are, the more you probably consume more bad food. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
never had a fast or detox or never been have one of those sicknesses where it makes you want to purge. Because sometimes you get sick and what's the first thing your body does? Starts
Purging,
purging itself.
purging it out. I mean, yeah,
Pooping. What do you do?
we call it getting well,
That's right. Mm-hmm.
because purging. I work with a medicine called Hape. It's
Okay.
it's a tobacco snuff that I blow in my nose,
Mm-hmm.
and what I do it every morning as part of my practice, as part of my spiritual practice.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the Amazon. They take the tobacco leaves and they
Mm-hmm.
they they grind it down into a powder, and then it's like super fine, right? And then they blend it with other herbs. So what happens is it's alkaline. It's an
Mm-hmm.
alkaline tobacco. And
Mm-hmm.
so what happens is you blow it in your nose, and then I like to blend it with tapping. So I'll tap my body from the
Mm-hmm.
toes all the way up,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I'll purge, but it's not always. That's like if I've picked up a lot of energy from other people, or if I'm around a lot of people, or something's off, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of the time it just comes out as like a burp or a fart, or I'll
Mm-hmm.
or I'll sweat, or I'll cry. There's so many ways to cleanse and to purge and
Right.
clear.
Right.
And so for me, it's just like taking a shower. It's taking care of my energetic hygiene,
Mm-hmm.
because then I don't have to, because then I know for that throughout the day, I'm clear. I can hold space for other people. I can help my buddy who just went through a breakup. I can,
Right.
go through these deeper emotions with people and hold that space, as we call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like be there fully in full presence with that person, to hear them, to if they need some guidance, to give them that, or to just let them vent, and then help them move through that energy, and remind them of the truth of what we are, and what this reality is. And um and so there's different ways of doing it, but that medicine is very grounding too. It like really grounds my energy down into the earth.
Mm-hmm.
It's non-psychedelic. There's no none of that happens during it.
Uh-huh.
It's just you fully feel your body, because
Mm-hmm.
for most people nowadays, they're floating up somewhere out here
Right, right, right.
above their body. They're,
Love
there's
the Bible.
they have a lot of trauma. They have a lot of experiences that they haven't processed.
Mm.
So they numb out with food, sex,
Drugs, alcohol. Huh?
uh, Netflix, you name it, right? Like it's part of our society nowadays to, hey, what's the best way to numb out,
Whatever.
And so with fasting, it's the same thing. It's like you have to feel your body, and you have to be in that. And so through fasting, a lot of people get closer to God, get closer to the Great Spirit, right?
Right.
Because the body is starting to allow us to experience these deeper levels of consciousness, because we're no longer so focused on that digestion. Like you said, a third of your
Mm-hmm.
brain power, a third of your body's resources are being used for that all day, And so now you're able to open up those upper channels, your
Mm-hmm.
crown chakra and things like that. And if you're detoxifying and decalcifying the pineal, then
Mm-hmm.
you're really getting that deeper experience of what this
Mm-hmm.
reality really is. And it really opens us up to something way deeper, and way, way more of that truth of what we're really here for, as
Mm-hmm.
humans.
I know when I'm fasting real, when I close my eyes at night, I can see my pineal gland hovering above me.
Oh, wow.
Like when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
When I'm not, what I mean, fully on my diet, I can't see it.
Yeah.
When I know when I'm really clean, 'cause I go, boom, I can see it.
As a kid, we know. As a kid, we come in and we know. Like
Mm-hmm.
as a kid, I was doing energy work on trees.
Yeah.
Most people know it's called Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't, it's like energy healing through the
Mm-hmm.
hands and through the feet, and
Mm-hmm.
through the eyes for the more advanced practitioners. I was like always barefoot. I was always connected to that magnetic field of the planet and the
Mm-hmm.
electric field of the planet. And it's like as kids, we know so much. It's just we sometimes lose that connection. And as adults, we start to reconnect to that and find the ways that we can really like show up for the planet,
Right.
show up to heal the world. And it starts with ourselves. We got to do it inside first,
That's right.
and then it emanates out.
That's right. It emanates out. You gotta get rid of all that good first. You know what I mean? Sit down
Yeah.
with yourself. Ugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Purge yourself.
right now the parasite cleanse is really hot. A lot of
Oh,
people
it's
are
hot.
really clearing out their parasites. And you know for the people that have traveled a lot,
Mm-hmm.
that's super important.
That's
But
really important.
even if you ever had meat, ever, you're gonna have some sort of parasites, most likely.
Everybody's gonna have parasites some type of way.
Yeah,
Fruit eater, whatever. It's just good to deworm
yeah,
anytime. At
yeah,
least 2 times a year. I'm a proponent of that now. Why?
yeah,
Because when I was sick, first time I saw the worms, I saw a lot, right? And I noticed after I got through that round of, hey, I wasn't the same person no more.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Then I did
yeah,
it again and again. I don't think I can never. I got a host of anomalies out of me, man. I,
yeah.
the vril's gone. You know what the vril is? You
No.
know, Look up reels one day. You know what I mean? Vyrill. You know what I mean? Those are like little.
Oh, those are the type of parasite.
Well, they say it's the controlling agent in the, certain people and stuff.
Oh,
I
okay.
consider it a
Okay.
parasite that gets into your body, and they say it actually takes over you.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's almost like like aliens. Remember the
Right.
movie? It
Right.
goes to your mouth like food, right?
Yeah.
Goes in and takes over your host. You know what I mean? They have a thing called toxoplasma, right? So, no, let's say I like that girl, I'm attracted to the girl. For one split second, my brain takes that shape of that girl, right? But now, if I have all those parasites controlling it, the toxoplasma, the parasites and glue-like substance is going to be the parasite controlling that.
Hmm.
You do know that, right? So different
Right.
things like that control the host. So, like you said, man, when you start to deworm, you start to heal.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, spiritually too. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
Because
it brings up stuff. Like it's been bringing up a lot for me. It's like
Mhm.
it's all connected. It's like these parasites are a physical manifestation of different things that throughout my life had had occurred, and now they're getting cleared out. There's so many layers to this journey.
Mhm.
Of clearing. We call it crystallizing the body.
Mm,
It's like releasing anything that's not at that highest frequency.
mm,
And first, in the awakening stages, for a lot of people, it starts by, certain people can't vibe with you anymore, right? Like
right. That's,
vibration, they call it a
mhm.
vibe, right? That's
Right.
because that's a frequency. You don't vibe with certain people, they start to
Mm,
trickle out of your life, and then lower vibrational things like alcohol start to fall away.
right.
So for some people that's the first step.
Mhm.
I had to drop all the alcohol cold turkey. I was a big partier in college,
Yep.
and I dropped it cold turkey, and when I dropped it, that's when things really started to open up for me.
Yep. That's how I did. And I fasted. And I was like, man, I can no longer do this no more. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Hell was
yeah.
I doing? Drinking all this? No, 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 no. No.
You you
Never.
you Yeah, you bring in yoga, you bring in meditation, you bring in movement, you bring in these mindful ways of
Right.
being, and you start to completely transform and become a brand new person.
A brand new person. And it's nothing you can really, it's just what happens. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's just what happens. You know what I mean? That's why I tell people, like, when you're serious about fasting and doing this program, you're not going to be the same if you do this, right? I said, guaranteed you're going to be for the better. I
Yeah.
don't know how, but most people, they're never the same. Like all my aggressive friends, when they do, they're not the same. They just mellow it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They all say the same thing. I should have did this a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. Said it wasn't around, but hey, you know what I mean? That's how I felt. That's how I felt too. You know what I mean? Thank God.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I mean? Tell them where I'd be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why, like, it's always important just to heal. You know what I mean? Always important to heal. And another thing, always drink like a lot of water, spring water. People say spring water. I just tell people I'll just drink a gallon of water. You know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
just try to hydrate your body or however much you weigh, drink it in ounces. You know what I mean? Whatever you feel comfortable with. You know what I mean? Hydrate, you know what I mean? Try to remineralize your body. Um, Eat a lot of foods that are high in that alkaline pH range. Uh, Fruits and vegetables and grains. Throughout the course of time, just try to have a better positive outlook on life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Slowly but surely it'll come. You know what I mean? Different things will happen that'll benefit you. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So the last question I have for you,
Mm-hmm.
Arthur, is like, where are you at now? Are you eating meat? Are you sticking with alkaline? Are you
It's what
alternating?
I do. I just eat a bunch of fruit, vegetables, drink tonic, take some herbs. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
take different ones every day. I just a hand batch concoction.
Hmm.
Sometimes I take some decalcifiers. Sometimes I'm cleansing my blood.
So you're full vegan.
Huh?
You're full vegan?
Yeah, it was plant based. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, plant based. I guess vegetarian, vegan, whatever. I just call it plant based. I don't eat
Yeah.
meat. And
Yeah.
uh, like right now, like during the day out here, I eat a lot of watermelon. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that during the course of time, like basically, My summertime diet is gonna be like bunch of fruit, quinoa grains, just like pots of vegetable soups and stuff like that, different
Hmm.
things like that. I mean, just all types of different stuff. Veggie tacos, plant-based tacos. Last night we had like plant-based tacos and stuff, you know what I mean? Rice and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah,
Me and my kids and stuff, they still eat meat, whatever. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like, I'm the only one like that. You know what I mean? In my family. You know,
yeah.
actually, I can't lie. They just came off. We all just came off of like a 10-day juice thing. We had a bunch of
Oh,
vegetables.
nice, nice,
So everybody's really looking good. You know what I mean? They all did.
amazing,
I
amazing.
said, well, we just got to press them up and drink it and just juice it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's the
And
best.
they were like, what? I was like, yep, go grab the juicers.
They'll
So
be
everybody,
they'll come around. They'll come
no,
around. They'll see the
I'm not
benefit.
gonna lie, they all do. They all do. When I first got sick, everybody was with me. For
Yeah.
like, I ain't gonna lie, for like my first 4 years, everybody pretty much stopped eating meat in my house.
Hmm.
They all got in shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
They're copying me, you know what I mean? Because I
yeah,
was doing it, you know what I mean? But that's a
yeah,
good thing, you know what I mean?
yeah,
By default, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And so, like, I make batches of tonics and herbs, different things. Of course, they always here. You guys take
Yep.
this,
And we're about to launch it on Amazon, so we're
right? That's
gonna
right.
we're gonna have all that available in
Yeah,
the next couple of
yep,
months.
yep. Say that then. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
by the time this podcast come out, we probably already will have some stuff on Amazon, so we can
Okay.
drop all the links. Yeah, man.
Sure.
Well, it's been such an honor to have you on, brother.
All right.
Um,
Thank you, my man.
such amazing story that you have, and so inspirational, man. I'm so grateful to know you and to have had you on as a guest. And you're welcome back anytime, man. So until next time, brother. Thank you.
All right, until next time, thank you for everything, your wonderful insight. Thank you for everything that you did for my friends, my mother, everybody. You know what I mean? And friend for life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? All
yeah,
right.
for sure, brother.
All
Until
right.
next time, man. Thank
Next
you.
time.